We're going to talk. So Mark Hamill came out and said, beware, people are going to get Star Wars fatigue. And
what does he mean by that? Like, beware,
because
like it's going to happen, or he thinks like Star Wars Celebration is going to be smaller?
No, he thinks that with all of the Star Wars content coming out, people are going to start getting into Star Wars fatigue.
What's Star Wars content? Like the new stuff?
So there's going to be a Benioff and Weiss who do Game of Thrones.
Right.
They're going to do a trilogy.
But isn't that like that's not going to happen for a while?
A little while. You've got episode 9 this December,
right?
Which is, who knows if that's going to wrap up the saga, right? We don't know if there's going to be a episode 10, 11, 12, whatever. Because they're not going to just do a 10. They're going to do a 10, 11, 12. You have to come out in threes, I think, in the Star Wars world. And again, I'm not Christian Harloff on this one. So, but then they've got the Mandalorian series, which is coming out on Disney Plus.
But that's also not going to be till what, next year? Or maybe it was fall of this year.
I believe today or Sunday, I think, is the Mandalorian panel. It's the panel at Star Wars Celebration, and they're going to show a trailer.
Yeah, I think it was. If I remember correctly, I remember it was going to be one of the first shows on Disney Plus.
I think that's what they're launching with. They're launching with the Mandalorian to hopefully get all those people, because now on Disney Plus you're getting a Hawkeye series, you're getting a Loki series, you're getting a Scarlet Witch series.
Smart.
I know.
So smart of them.
They're not. Those people aren't going to get full movies.
Right. They're like, we have all these billions sitting around.
What should we do?
Yeah, because like now I was like, I guess I have to get Disney Plus.
I know. I wasn't going to get it.
They're like, you can. They're putting all the Avengers movies on there, all the Marvel movies on there, and all the Disney movies on there. And I was like, man, that's fine. And they're like, oh yeah, and also Star Wars, and then also all of these like one-off things.
Avenger
and I'm like,
one-offs. And it could be, everybody keeps talking about Disney Plus getting the rights to things like Daredevil and Luke Cage. And our favorite one, Iron Fist, who I believe entered most episodes with.
Oh, God. I wish he did that much.
Probably would have been a better show. I always feel bad crap talking that guy so much because we destroyed him.
Yeah.
Like, we destroyed him.
Yeah.
Of all the actors, of all the actors in the history of the first iteration of TV Talk, he was the only one that we legit just raked over the coals.
You know what? He brought it on himself.
You're right.
And I still remember to this day, you were like, yeah, it's the guy from Game of Thrones. Oh, it's going to be great.
He was the guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, but wasn't he like someone's cousin or something?
Sort of.
Like, didn't have that big of a,
He was like the guy. I mean, he was Loras Tyrell, so he was gay, and then they threw him in the dungeon because he was banging dudes, and it was against the Seven. It was against the religion, kind of a thing. A lot of people have been asking, are you going to bring back the synopsis, which we can tease on TV Talk, which you'll be on later today, that will air tomorrow.
Just do it.
See, Cody knows.
Yeah.
So Mark Hamill's saying this. He also said there seems like there's a lot of, and I could tell them that, but they don't listen to anything I say anyway, which was kind of a shot at Lucasfilm / Disney.
Weird.
Because he was really upset about how in Force Awakens he was only in the end getting handed a lightsaber. He didn't like in Last Jedi that he was a ghost the whole time, or a phantom Tupac hologram at Coachella. But if I'm going to go with Mark Hamill on this one for a second, I really liked the Solo movie, and I was kind of bummed that nobody else did because I enjoyed it.
I didn't hate it.
Mm-hmm. But that's not the reaction you want from a Star Wars movie.
No. Yeah. For me, Rogue One is so effing fantastic.
It's my favorite Star Wars movie.
I've watched that movie like more times than I've watched a lot of movies in my life. It's like, it might
be the perfect
good.
Prequel.
Oh, it's perfect. Like, it's actually perfect. And it's so like, it's so grounded too that it works.
Totally.
Like, it just works. Like, I've been confident being like, watch this movie, don't get turned away from it just because it says Star Wars and think that you have to have seen all of these other movies to understand, because it's just so fantastic. Like, it's incredible.
It's pretty much perfect movie.
It's hard when I have that always in my head. Whereas Rogue One's one that it'll be like a random Wednesday and I'm like, ooh, I guess I'll just watch Rogue One. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Oh, Friends? No, I'll just go Rogue One.
Yeah, I'm like, it's one of the two. Like, I've watched it so many times, so it's just hard. Like, Solo was fine. The acting was fine.
Do you like Alden Ehrenreich?
Yeah, like, everything was fine. I wish that, what they were doing, everything was fine.
Okay.
Actors who I think are great actors were fine.
Donald Glover, great.
And
you still watching Atlanta?
No. No, I have to catch up.
Yeah.
But my only issue with Solo was that I felt like they... Like, Solo, Harrison Ford's Solo it should be untouchable.
I agree.
He had created a character, blah, blah, blah.
Same like Harrison Ford's Indiana Jones.
Right. It's just like one of those things that like you see now, it's not just the writing, it's Harrison Ford. It's Harrison Ford as Solo. So it's like, I think that the movie would have been so much better because that was at the forefront, and it really was like it was a star, like a leader movie, right? There's one person leading the whole movie. And I feel like it would have been so much better had they just stopped trying so hard to try to explain like this guy getting all of his quirks and like we didn't even need any of that. The Chewie stuff was the most interesting thing, like when they're in the little underground thing.
Yeah, I like that.
That's like actually for me one of the best parts of the movie.
Sure.
And if they would have just like been like more authentic and just like focused on that, because that's a story we didn't know, you know, how they met. So like put some more focus into like those like things and him becoming who he is, not him getting the personality that he has. That makes sense.
No, I totally agree with you because
it took away from it.
There are a few movie stars in history that have the charm and charisma as Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Right? Like anything. You can take away all the stuff when he was like, I'm already working around the clock. That was older Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford in his prime was probably the most charming man to ever grace a screen.
Yeah.
Not many people can pull off Indiana Jones, which is supposed to be serious, yet funny,
and like
yet entertaining,
also
but
be
also
like the
smart.
biggest ass on the planet.
Correct.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the biggest ass on the planet, but somehow you're just like you can't. It's
Harrison Ford.
And like charm and charisma is like it's different for every person. Everybody has different charm. So that's like. I just wish they wouldn't have tried to channel Harrison Ford charm because it was obvious to me, and I don't know why. It just didn't sit well. I didn't like it that much.
Okay, all right, I'll give it to you. But back to Mark Hamill real quick. I don't see myself getting Star Wars fatigue.
No, me neither.
Just yet.
Neither.
Okay.